Peace, peace, peace. So I just got done praying, and as I was praying, and just glorifying the divine and pulling in good energy, surrounding myself with good energy, and getting rid of fear, all of that good stuff. This download came to me because, as much as I submerge myself in good feelings, because that's like the key. You feel what I'm saying? Raising your vibration is all about elevating your emotional state to those states of joy, bliss, surrender, allowance, flow. A concept came to me that was more practical, and it revolved around using the four elements to align with my goals, you feel what I'm saying, and attract more of what I desire into this life. So essentially, it was pretty powerful, but it revolves around the four elements. And as an astrologer, I heavily incorporate the four elements, you feel what I'm saying? And it starts with fire. Fire is the first element, universally, you feel what I'm saying? Because fire is closest to spirit. Meanwhile, earth is closest to the demiurge, we can say, or closest to the illusion or matter, however you may want to put it. And so fire is the vision. You feel what I'm saying? It starts with your vision. It starts with you seeing it, with you being inspired, with you in a sense desiring something, and thus you seeing it. You feel what I'm saying? And then after fire, it goes into water. You feel what I'm saying? And it could really be interchangeable. You feel what I'm saying? It could be water. Peace, Sandra Small. Hope you're doing well. It could be water or it could be air. But we'll say water because that's how it came to me. So, whereas fire is the vision, seeing it. Fire is the vision, seeing it. Water is associating emotions with it and to it. And then earth is the actual practical actions and step that you take towards your goals. You feel what I'm saying? And so you want to think of it like this. Your capacity to see your goal and your desires, the vision, that's like the sun. It's the sunlight, you feel what I'm saying? And as long as you put attention towards it, you're providing the sunlight. And then your emotional attachment is how you water that goal or aspiration or desire. You feel what I'm saying? And then the actions you take, the practical ways you move in the physical world is like the soil. It's like the earth. You feel what I'm saying? And then the seed itself and the plant and the way it grows, we can say that's like the air element. And the reason why, it's because air is all about thoughts. It's about patterns, so the air aspect is more about information. And when you think of seeds are capsules of DNA. You feel what I'm saying? They hold DNA. But so the air is just you planning things out, you thinking about it, etc. And air, even though it's valuable and essential, you want to focus primarily on the fire, which is continuously visualizing it, bringing attention and your awareness towards it. And then you also want to bombard it with as much emotional attachment as possible. You feel what I'm saying? You want to get emotionally involved, connect positive, pleasurable emotions to the attainment of that goal. You feel what I'm saying? And then the earth is literally you going out into the physical world and taking practical actions. And when you do all these three, let's not exclude the air element, which is all about. So it goes water, getting emotionally attached, and then air, which is sitting down and making a plan of action, a plan of execution, and then earth, you feel what I'm saying, which is all about moving in the practical world and taking practical steps towards your goal. But when you put these together, it's literally like you're nourishing a plant and it's growing, and you have all four essential ingredients. So it's failure is not like in the equation. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and share that little gem, that I received and I realized. And just to, recap what I said, fire, the vision, you must see it. It's like before you can have anything, you have to tune into the frequency of it. And a lot of us, we don't realize our sight goes beyond our physical experience. So we limit what we can see, what we perceive, and what we believe we can receive to our environment. You know what I'm saying? And what we are exposed to. We think that's it, that's all. But in reality, within you, there are grander worlds, that you can tap into. And that's like the dream state even. Because the dream state, imagination, those are all real places. You feel what I'm saying? They're very real. So the physical world around you is very limited and it's finite. But within you, there is an unlimited reservoir. You feel what I'm saying? And I think it's very essential that we all tap into a higher power. I see it like plugging in. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's the outlet and it has all the power you'll ever need. And by engaging in certain spiritual practices, you literally plug yourself into that power. You feel what I'm saying? I heavily get into, even though I consider myself an ominist, right? Ominism, like that would be my religion if I was asked. The term ominism essentially means all-encompassing, for what I'm saying, in the sense that, for instance, today, it was Sunday, so I did go to church earlier with a friend, and I sat in, and being an alchemist, it was an opportunity for me to cultivate some tin, you feel what I'm saying, tin, and if you're not into alchemy, look up tin and what it means. So I seen it as an opportunity to cultivate tin. And whilst I was there, okay, in astrology, Jupiter rules religion, you feel what I'm saying? So while I was in the church, and even though being aware of like the dogmatic and indoctrination energies that were around, I allowed myself to step into the Pisces energy. You feel what I'm saying? And just be delusional to an extent, and allow myself to surrender and feel, because it's about the feelings. You feel what I'm saying? Like emotions, low key, regardless of how you get to them, if you have an emotion, it's universally powerful. You feel what I'm saying? Regardless of how you get to it. So I was there to cultivate certain emotions and energies, to be in the presence of the divine one way or another. But, as an alchemist, you work with metals. And metals, when they come out of nature, for example, they're typically radioactive. They need to be purified. They need to be cleansed. It's the same concept with spiritual metals, with, mental metals. And that's what I was doing in the church earlier. I was cultivating spiritual tin. But in its raw state, it has certain toxins that it needs to be removed. But I say that because, okay, even though I went to church, I still prayed through my Islamic practice 5 times today. You feel what I'm saying? Which was really powerful. And all of these outlets I tap into really help me get closer and truly ground myself into the higher plane. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a continual reinforced energy. Like, really think about it, because we live in this world, right, where we are bombarded with negativity every single where that we go, and that's just the default. That's just what comes if we're not active but passive. So imagine actively every single day putting practices forth that strengthen and reinforce your connection to the higher power. It's next level for real, and it'll really elevate you. And so it was beautiful because on my 5th prayer, I always close off by thanking, the divine for this beautiful day and just reflecting on how amazing the day was. And lately I've really been feeling like every single day has been like the best day, you feel what I'm saying? And I just reflect on how the day was and how amazing it was. And so a part of me kind of feels like I'm living in this unreal, like Twilight Zone type energy, kind of, you feel what I'm saying? But it's because I'm living outside of the program and I'm creating the program, if you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, no, it's amazing. But remember what I said earlier, the 4 elements, in correlation to your goals. Fire is the vision. You must tune into that channel, that frequency. Water is the emotion. Once you are connected to the vision, you must start to water it. And you want to kind of envision it like a plant. You feel what I'm saying? The vision is the plant once it's matured and grown. The emotions you attach to it on a day-to-day is like you watering that plant. You feel what I'm saying? And then the air in the earth, the air is like you sitting down and thinking about it, making plans of execution. And then the earth, which is very important, is you actually moving in this physical world and getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Putting in the work, disciplining yourself, directing your actions and your habits and your activities to be constructive rather than spontaneous and random. It gets deep, but I don't think it's that deep though. I'm pretty sure you guys get what I'm trying to share. But anyways, I hope everybody is having a beautiful, blessed day, and definitely connect with me, because I do offer free sessions where pretty much you get an opportunity to talk with me and we kind of get deep into, what I do, how I can help you, the different services I provide. And, that session is free. But what happens is, typically with most people I talk with, they resonate a lot with what I have to offer and how I can take them from point A to point B. And so they end up choosing to work with me long term, and shout out to you. Shout out to you, Sandra, because we've been connected and, working together for like years now. So I appreciate you for even being in the building. I hope that you're doing well, Sandra. And what we'll do is we'll definitely connect very, very soon. I think, I think it'd be valuable. All right, you guys, peace. Namaste. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye.